The three things that government can do to encourage entrepreneurship in South Africa. Number one, let's look at our labor laws. These are incredibly rigid labor laws. If you look at the World Economic Forum's report on South Africa, 147 out of 148 in terms of the rigidity of our labor laws. When you have rigid labor laws, people don't employ. And small businesses are very afraid to employ. So the first thing we need to look at is our labor laws. The second thing that government can do is to relook at our education system. Our current education system is designed from a post-industrial era, designed to produce engineers, builders, people to build factories, work in factories, service factories. We're in a completely different era right now, and we need to be relooking at the education system so that we can produce kids that come out thinking about building their own businesses, thinking about being entrepreneurial and opportunistic and seeing the world very differently to their fathers and their grandfathers. The third thing that government can do is relook at our immigration laws. There's a sense that if we import skills that they will take away jobs from South Africans. That's not necessarily true. If you look at an example, for example, of Portugal and Brazil, Brazil imported 60,000 Portuguese who were unemployed in Portugal but had the skills to help them build the Brazilian economy. When you bring in skills, you bring in the ability to build businesses, and when you're building businesses, you create employment. The single biggest barrier for entrepreneurs in South Africa is our culture. We have a culture of shame in South Africa. So if you look at the difference between a fear-based society and a shame-based society, a shame-based society will shame any kind of failure. In a fear-based society such as America, people are afraid to fail, but they fear it, but it doesn't shame them, so they come back again. If you look at the re-entry rate of entrepreneurs who have failed in a fear-based society, they come back 3 to 4 times more often than in a shame-based society. And look at South Africa, look at what we say, "Ach, shame man, ach, shame man." It's a part of how we speak, and we are ashamed when we fail. We should just see it as a process of learning towards our success. The best piece of advice that I would give entrepreneurs is when they start to think about their business and start working on that fancy Excel spreadsheet where they're going to make so much money and they're going to break even in month 6 and they're only going to need this amount of money. Double the time that you think that it's going to take to break even and quadruple the amount of money you think you're going to need. And if you have enough cash in place to be 4 times longer than you anticipate your break even, then you are maybe ready to start.